format and what should be included in your business presentation. So your business plan presentation will be the topic today. Okay. Okay, let me show you what is there in your Blackboard regarding business plan presentation. So you have week 9 and week 10. Week 9 and week 10 in your Blackboard is about business plan presentation. Both are the slides, week 9 and week 10. Did we discuss the financial analysis last time around? I want to know, I'm not sure if we have finished the business plan. Yes. And did we talk about the financial analysis last time around? Can any of you confirm what did we finish last time around?
This for plan.
We finished business plan. No, mister, we didn't finish it. We didn't complete it. That is what I'm asking. Why then I am moving towards the. So what was the last point which we have discussed? Let me open the business plan. Okay. Now I'm sharing the business plan format, which we haven't finished last time around. Can anybody tell me till what we didn't finish in this plan? So Umani ecosystem was the last one, and after that there was the summary of everything which we need to cover, and of course there was financial statement. So can anybody tell me where were we last time around? Can anybody tell me where were we last time around?
Still, the last thing we discussed was the brand names and advertising.
Brand name and the advertisement. Okay. 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 So the last thing which we have covered was the marketing strategy. Then this is what you are telling me. Yeah. So product and services, what we discussed last time around was product and services. So in product and services, I told you, you have to provide all the detail about all the type of products which you are going to offer. That includes even the specific information about the product and services. Then you also have to define the value proposition. What was value proposition? Value proposition, if you remember, it is about the performance, functionality, price, design, and the brand name of that product. So value proposition is a full package, which is about performance, design, cost, yeah, or price, you can say. Performance, design, price, functionality, and brand name for that product. So this product should have all these things in order to have a value proposition. For some products, the value proposition will be high because their brand name is high. So I told you that you need to have some advertisement policy as well. Advertisement mean you should advertise your product in such a way that customers would know that you are doing this business. Remember, advertisement is for the awareness of the product or services, that you are providing that type of product or services. Now, for an entrepreneur who is starting a new small or medium type of a business, this is difficult. Why? Because they cannot advertise their product on TV or maybe in the newspaper because it's very expensive. So for new entrepreneurs, now we have different type of social media or non-traditional medias available. For example, you can advertise your product on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even billboards are there. Billboards you can see outside, or even you have brochures with you. Those brochures can be used as the advertisement tool. So you must find out a way to advertise your product. Why? Because TV, and if you write TV and TV and newspaper that you will advertise your product in TV and media, TV and newspaper, then it's very expensive. The thing is, then your capital should be very high. Please remember that. So when you are making your advertisement policy, keep this in mind. Now it is not necessary to provide or to advertise your product in newspaper or on the TV. Okay, so this was the last thing which we covered last time around. So value proposition was there, and then you should provide your marketing strategy as well. Marketing strategy means there were 4 P's. You know that: product, price, promotion, and place. Now you should define which P's are more important for your type of product. For example, if I'm starting a business of pizza, and for me the competitive advantage is, competitive advantage is about different type of pizzas which I will offer. So there is a diversification in terms of my product. So I will offer Italian pizza, Arabian pizza, Italian pizza with thin crust, Italian pizza with thick crust as well, and different type of pizzas will be there. So this is the competitive advantage. This is the advantage which I am taking which I am taking over my competitors. What does it mean? It means my competitors in Soul City like Domino's or Pizza Hut or Muscat Pizza, Pizza Muscat, they are not offering these type of pizzas. So this is the competitive advantage which I will take. So you will tell about your competitive advantage, and then you will tell about your product strategy. Because in this case, this is product strategy. Diversification of the product. Diversification of the product means that I'm using product strategy more. Then, other than that, I can also use any other type of strategy. For example, there is some promotion strategy as well. So you need to define your marketing strategy, and you need to tell about your marketing strategy in detail. So which type of which P's are more important for you, and how will you use it? Now you cannot just write, I will use place strategy. How will you use place strategy? Maybe if you are having a business of water bottles, you will try to make your water bottles available in different shops, and in which area, because you will be starting a business at a low level than other businesses. So what is that? You have to specifically tell about your marketing strategy. Do not write general things. Yes, you can write about general 4Ps, but you have to be very specific when you are telling about your marketing strategy. Please be careful when you are writing about your marketing strategy. I have seen many students, when we ask a question that what is your marketing strategy, they will say, okay, product strategy and promotion strategy. Then how would you use your product strategy and promotion strategy? Then they will tell nothing. So you have to tell about your product and how will you use the product strategy and how will you use the promotion strategy. So you need to be very clear about your marketing strategy. Is this point clear?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, so you need to define your product strategy. Then there is the management summary. The next part is the management summary. When we are talking about the management summary, we are talking about the organizational structure. Okay, we talked about organizational structure before. That means how many jobs will be created in your business. And I believe in the company summary, I told you about that organizational structure. So whether you will provide the organizational structure there or here, do not provide it 2 times. Okay, you can provide it here rather than providing it in the company structure. So in the organizational structure, what was the main thing? You need to tell about the number of jobs which will be created and the number of designations as well. Number of designations as well. So when you are talking about the number of designations, that means, let's say there is a CEO in your company who will perform that role. There is a marketing manager, or there is operations manager, or there is some finance manager. So, and how many of them will be there? Let's say there is some production team, sales persons are there, 2 salesperson are there, 2 production people are there. Let's say these are the jobs which will be created in your business. So you need to tell the number of jobs as well as the number of designations. So what are the designations and how many jobs will be created? This will be your organizational structure. I remember last time we made that organogram kind of a thing. So hierarchical structure is there. Either you can show it in that form, or you can just simply write about different type of jobs which will be created in your business and how many of them will be created in your business. This is what we will cover in the management summary. and you should explain your organizational structure. That means how many jobs will be there, what they will do. So the job description is also a part of it. Okay, so this is the difference. Like in business idea, you just need to provide number of jobs. Here, you are not only providing the number of jobs and the designations, you are also telling what they will do in your business. So more detail will be here as compared to business idea. Keep this in mind. Okay, then the last part is the Omani ecosystem. It's not the last part, the second last part, Omani ecosystem. When we are talking about Omani ecosystem means the legal environment where you will be working. So here you will be telling about the type of company which you will open and some detail about it. For example, you are opening an LLC, limited liability company, or you are just opening an LTD. LTD means limited company, or maybe you are the only owner of the company, so you will be opening a sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship. Whatever is that, you will tell about it, that I will register my company as LLC, how many partners will be there, or I will register my company as a limited company, how many partners will be there, what will be their share, and if it is a single person company, I will register it as a sole proprietor. Then you need to provide some detail about that type of a company. For example, what is an LLC? What are the advantages or disadvantages of LLC? Or if you are opening a limited company, then what is a limited company? What are the advantages and disadvantages of a limited company? Or if you are opening a sole proprietorship, what is the advantages? What are the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship? You need to provide some detail. You can take that detail from the internet. Okay, but rephrase the lines so that there is less plagiarism or less similarity in those lines. Is this point clear? Do you understand about Omani ecosystem? Yes. After telling about the partnership or type of company, you have to provide either the SWOT analysis or pest analysis. Either of them. So either you will be providing the SWOT analysis or you will be providing the pest analysis. SWOT analysis, remember, it was the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Whereas pest analysis was political, economic, social, and technological environment. Remember, SWOT analysis, I told you it is possible when you are doing business for like 2 or 3 years. Then you know what are your strengths, which are internal to the company, and what are the threats. Threats mean the what are the weaknesses. Weaknesses mean the internal weaknesses, what you need to improve in your company. Then what are the opportunities which are outside the company, and then what are the threats which are also outside the company, but your competitors are doing better than you. Whereas pest analysis, you can do it at any time, even at the start of the business. What is the political or government regulations for your kind of a business? Then what is the economic environment? Will people buy your product? Is it very expensive or it's okay? Then what is the social impact? Social impact means whether your product is environment friendly, what type of impact it would have on the society. And T means the technological effect. So you can see the SWOT analysis or pest analysis. Now I give you the luxury. It is up to you which one you want to do. You can do either SWOT analysis or you can do pest analysis. It is up to you. Okay. Is this point clear? This is the important information which you need to cover in the Omani ecosystem. Let me know if you are clear about Omani ecosystem, the type of company which you will open, and either SWOT analysis or pest analysis. This is important, which you need to cover in Omani ecosystem. Of course, the type of company which you are opening, you need to tell about that type of a company as well. Is it clear?
Mister, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, in planned business plan, no limit word or no limit page, yeah? Up to you write it.
Can you repeat it? Can you
In a
repeat your
business
question?
plan, no limit for page or word, yeah?
There is a limit for pages. Like if you see the business
How?
plan, yeah, let me tell you. So if you see, at least 20 pages should be there. If you see the start of this business plan, you can see that even the outline, it shows that it should be 20 pages. Okay, there is a restriction of words as well, but I'm not putting it, because if you write 20 pages, okay, let me tell you, there is a restriction for pages here. It should be minimum 20 pages for your business plan. So if you try to think how many words will be there in 20 pages, so remember, on one page, normally we write 500 words. So it becomes like 10,000 words, but I'm not saying that you need to have 10,000 words in 20 pages. Okay. So it will be like 5,000, 6,000 words at least if you cover 20 pages. So there is a restriction of 20 pages. Take it in that sense. Do not take it in the sense of like words. Words will be automatically done if you cover 20 pages. At least minimum 20 pages should be covered. That is the requirement for the business plan. This is the requirement for the business plan. Is this point clear?
Yes,
Do you
Mr.
understand?
Clear.
Yeah. So there is a requirement of at least 20 pages for a business plan, and it would roughly serve the purpose how much words we need for a business plan. Okay. Moving forward. Then there is the summary. Actually, what we have done before, it will come back in the strategy and implementation summary. So if you want to provide a paragraph about it, you can provide it, or you can provide the details of different questions which we answered in the business canvas model. So what you can do, you can see the business canvas. There were key partners. There were value proposition we have discussed before. You can see if something is remaining, like the social impact, you have discussed it in the products and services. Key resources you have discussed in product and services. So if something is left in the business canvas model, you can provide it here. Or what you can do, you can just provide a summary of those 11 areas. Remember, in business canvas model, week 8, you have that paper and there were 11 things in it, 11 important questions which you need to answer about your business. So what you can provide a paragraph in which you will just summarize those 11 points. Of course, because you have discussed those 11 points in different parts of your business plan. So just summarize it here. So this is business canvas model, 11 points. So you can prepare a summary. So you are starting with a summary, which is the executive summary, and you are ending with a paragraph, which is also a summary, but both are different. Executive summary has little information. Now this conclusion part or the end part will have more information based on those 11 areas which we covered in business canvas model. So maybe you need to write just 1 line or 2 lines about each and everything, and you made a paragraph of 8 or 9 or 10 lines or 11 lines, which will show the summary of your whole business plan. This is how you will end your business plan. Yes, there is still one more part remaining, which is the financial analysis. Is it clear till now? I would recommend that the last summary or the last paragraph which you are writing, you can focus, I'm just recommending, you can focus on the business canvas model. And when you focus on the business canvas model, you will provide the information about those 11 areas. Okay, so you can write something about it here. Of course, you have discussed those 11 areas in different parts of the business plan. For example, value proposition, who are your key partners, how will you sell your product in the product and services, or in other areas like company summary or things like that. So you need to just summarize it here. What does it mean? In simple words, your whole business plan summary will be there at the end. Summary means those are the 11 important points. Just write about them or summarize them in a paragraph or so, or in 1 page. That's it. Is this clear? So you have to provide the summary of those 11 areas at the end. Now, if there is a question, someone can ask question that can we provide business canvas model itself here? Yes, you can. So you can just fill that business canvas model and you can just paste it here at the end. This is also fine. You know that business canvas model having 11 areas, you can just fill some detail in it and you can put it here as a summary. This is also fine. Do you understand the summary of your business plan? Okay, so I give you a way, whether you can write about it in 1 page or so, or you can just fill the business canvas model and put it here. This is also fine. Then the last part will be the financial analysis. For financial analysis, I have to show you the Excel file. This one is finished. So you will use that Excel file to provide the financial analysis. Let me share with you a window. This Excel file is available in your Blackboard. All of you can use this Excel file for preparing your financial plan. So in your financial plan, you have 3 statements: balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement. Balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement. Remember that these are the 3 statements which you have to provide. This Excel sheet will provide all 3 balance sheets, then all 3 type of financial statement. Then there is one more thing, which is the cost of 1 unit. If you have to provide these 4 things. Okay, if you miss any one of them, you will at least lose 1 mark. For example, you provide balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement, but there is no cost of 1 unit, you will lose mark. So you need to provide these 4 things in your financial analysis. This Excel file, which I'm showing you, will cover 3 financial statements: balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement. So the Excel file, which is available in your Blackboard with the name of Excel sheet for financial statements, this can be used. You can use it for preparing balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement, the 3 statements. Okay, how can you do it? It's very easy. Let me increase the view. You have to give your company name. Okay, then you have to give for the month. Let's say in Oman, I told you the financial year is from 1st January to 31st December. From 1st January to 31st December of that year. So you will provide it like for the month ending 31st December 2021. So this is for this year, or 2020 you can write for you are preparing. Now see, you have to remember only one thing. What are the things which are in the balance sheet? What are the things which are in the balance sheet? In balance sheet, if you remember, we have capital, liabilities, which are the loans, assets, direct expenses, indirect expenses. So these 5 things should be there: capital, liabilities, assets, direct expenses, indirect expenses. These 5 things are already there. You just need to change the numbers. Okay, one thing more, there is a debit column, there is a credit column. Okay, you have to just enter it. For example, the capital and loan or liability is in the credit column. Credit column means the money is coming to you. Whereas debit column means, for example, for assets, you are paying that money to buy something. So think about it. Debit means money has gone from your pocket. Credit means money has come to your pocket. Okay. So what you can do, you can change the capital here. For example, for my company, the capital is 20,000 riyal. I will just change it 20,000. Then the loan for me is 15,000 riyal. So I will change it to 15,000 riyal. Sorry, 15,000. Okay. Then capital is there, liability is there, and then there are assets. So assets have things like furniture, air conditioners, computers, car, machinery, or land and building. You can change these numbers, but there is one thing which is cash on hand at the start. Please do not change it. This is automatic. For example, I change air conditioner to 1000. You can see it is automatically changing. There is a formula here. This cash on hand, if you remember, this is calculated in cash flow statement. Cash on hand is calculated in cash flow statement. Remember, you source of cash, the money which has come to you, minus the use of cash, the cash which you have used to buy assets or different things. It will give you cash on hand or working capital. This one is automatically coming here. Now I have one question. Why cash on hand in a balance sheet is coming under assets? Why cash on hand is an asset? Can anybody tell me? My question is, why in a balance sheet cash on hand is an asset?
For company.
No, definition of asset was you can use them for more than 1 year. You have control over your capital as well, how much money you will invest. You have control over loan as well, how much loan you want to take from the bank. So it is not about the control. The point is, the definition of assets is you can use them for more than 1 year. For example, if you buy a car this year, it is your asset. Why? You will use it for 4 or 5 years. So my question is, yes, Hiba, you are right. Because you can use it for the next year. Remember what was cash in hand? Just a second. So cash in hand. How did we calculate cash in hand? In this year, we use some money to buy assets minus the total cash which we received in this year. For example, my source of cash is 20,000 minus the use of cash during this year is 10,000. Okay, so how much money I will be left at on 31st December 2021? It will be 10,000 real. Now, I haven't used this 10,000 real in this year. I will use it next year. So cash on hand means this is the money which is in your pocket, and you can use it next year for buying different things, maybe raw material, for some assets and things like that. That is why cash on hand is an asset. Technically, it's an asset. Why? Because you can use them for more than 1 year. This is the cash which is in your pocket at the end of the year. So if it is in your pocket at the end of the year, that means you haven't used it in this year. So you can use it in the next year. That is why it is coming as an asset. And please do not change this one. I'm repeating it. Do not change this one, this highlighted one. I don't want any one of you to tell me that, okay, Mr. Our balance sheet has some issue, and when you will send me and you will tell me that you have changed the cash on hand. Please do not change this. This is automatic. You can change other things. The highlighted thing in this balance sheet should not be changed, which is cash on hand. This is automatically calculated in this sheet. Okay. Then there is one more thing which is here, which is the closing inventory or stock of raw material. As far as I remember, raw material should be direct expense. Why? Okay, let me show you. Direct expenses, C, material used for production, 8,000 real. It is a direct expense or variable expense. Why? Some of the raw material amount is here as well. Why it is an asset? Why some of the raw material is asset and some of the raw material is direct expense? Why some of the raw material is shown as asset and other raw material has been shown as direct expense? Yes, it should be direct expense, but why some of the raw material has been shown as assets? Yes, you will use them next year, Hiba. Let me give you an example. So I think you have forgot everything, most of you. So next time I will again take that Halwa company example, and we will again make the balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement so that you can refresh your concepts. Think about it. I buy a raw material this year for making my product for 10,000 real. I'm putting it in the chat box. Please see that. Do not sleep. Raw material 10,000 real. In this year, I used 8,000 real raw material. What is this? Is it a direct expense or asset? I used it during this year for making my product. 8,000 real raw material. What should I call it? Direct expense or something else? Direct expense. Good. So this amount will come in my Excel file. You can see it is coming under direct expense, 8,000 real. Now, in this year, I bought 10,000 real raw material. What about the remaining 2,000 real raw material? I will use it next year. So technically, if you can use something in the next year, that is your asset. That is why you can see 2,000 real closing stock of raw material as asset. It is coming under assets. If you don't want it, if you say, I have no closing stock of raw material, you can make it 0. It's okay. Do you get my point? If you think when you are making this Excel file, you can change numbers and you say that there is no, you can just put 0 and you will see that it becomes like this. Is this point clear? Is this point clear? Okay. In this way, you can also change your direct expenses. You can also change your indirect expenses. For example, for my case, there are 4 expenses of 2,000 real. I can put 2,000. There are refreshment allowance of 500. So I can put 500. Okay. And you can see that this is becoming dot dot like this. So you can increase the column size. It will be okay. When you increase the column size, it will be okay. For example, if it is short, number is bigger, it will be like this. So what will you do? And you, what is the correct thing? Your debit and credit, same. Look, see. Now, I have added one more thing in this Excel file, which is the sales. In balance sheet, we have 5 things: capital, liability, assets, direct expenses, indirect expenses. Here, just for your convenience, so that you don't need to make cash flow statement and income statement. Everything will be automatic. I will just show you. You just need sales. So I have put sales here. For example, in my case, I will sell 10,000 units. So I will make it 10,000 at the rate of 5 real. Let's say for me, the price is 5 real. So 10,000 into 5 will be 50,000. So I will change it to 50,000. You have to put your sales here. That's it. You can see both columns are same, 85,000, 85,000. Do not change cash on hand. Other things you can change. You can put anything. For example, there is some other loan of 1,000. Just put it here. No problem. It will always remain same, 86, 86, whatever is the number. You can change numbers, you can put numbers, but do not change this cash on hand, please. Other things you can change, other things you can put. For example, I have allowances of 200. Put it there, no problem. I have interest of 300 real. Just put it there, no problem. You can change these things, but you do not change this cash on hand. This is automatically coming. Now in this balance sheet, there is sales as well. Why? Because now the cash flow statement, which is down, it is generated automatically. You can see the cash on hand. The cash on hand is 56,850. See it here, 56,850. Same thing. Cash flow statement, now you don't have to make. It is automatic. Similarly, your income statement account, which is at the end, you can see the gross profit. It is automatically calculated. Whatever changes we have made there are directly incorporated here. And you can see the net profit. Net profit is 35,850 in this case. So what is the advantage? You have just made changes in the balance sheet. And your cash flow statement and income statement will be automatically generated. Just print it or put it in your business plan, or just attach it with the business plan. You just made changes in the balance sheet. Do not make any change in cash flow statement or income statement. That is automatic. Whatever, for example, here you put furniture for 2000 real. In cash flow statement, furniture is also there for use of cash. It will automatically change into 2000 real. Do you get my point? In this cash flows, in this balance sheet, you don't need to change cash on hand. Please do not change this. This is automatic. Other things you can change. Look, I put up a capital 20,000. See, 20,000. Let me change it to 30,000 just to show you. Now you can see in your cash flow statement, it has already become 30,000. So it is automatic. And my cash on hand becomes 68,850. See, cash on hand here, it becomes 66,850, sorry, 66,850. So the cash on hand is 66,850. So it is that easy. You just need to make changes in the balance sheet. Cash flow statement and income statement will be automatic. And in balance sheet, please do not change cash on hand. Is this point clear? I don't want students to email me or message me to ask what we need to change in the balance sheet. That is why I am emphasizing many times now that you do not need to change cash on hand, and cash flow statement and income statement will be automatically generated. You can change other things in the balance sheet as per your need. Is this clear? Is this clear? Still I have doubts. So what I will do next time in the next class, I will again do that exercise that for Halwa company. And then again, I will show you this Excel file. And I have still, one thing is remaining, which is the cost per unit. With that, I will end the class.